Where should you move in Romania? This is a video where you can decide maybe from yourself what city will be the best for you. And this is based on some research that I have done, but also personal experience, because this past year, as you maybe saw in my other video, I have been traveling around Romania to see what is it like to be in other cities. And I have made my personal decision of what will be the best city for me. But based on that, I want to share that information with you. So maybe and hopefully it will help you decide what will be the best city for you when you move to Romania. So I'm going to share with you 3 different cities for 3 different people. So stay until the end so you can discover which one would be the number one, at least for me right now in this season in my life. Because keep in mind that deciding which city is best for you, it will really depend on what is your goal, like what you're going there for, what are your interests, what you like to do, because you have to figure it out that if that city offers you everything you will need to be happy. In the 3rd place is the biggest city in Western Romania, and I know it will sound a little bit biased because I live here. It's Timișoara. It's really a great city, but offer you a lot of cultural events. For example, that's why they won the European Capital of Culture in 2023. Now in February is when they're actually starting all the events and festivities for that. So we're expecting a lot of people to come to Timișoara this year, which is great, is incredible. I can't wait for more people to see what Romania has to offer. I read in different articles that a lot of digital nomads come here because it's easy to move around. It's a city that you don't necessarily need to have a car. It's considered no super cheap, but it still is not the most expensive city in Romania. You can find apartments for about 300, 400 euros, houses, big houses for 700, 800 euros. And I know for Romanians working in Romania with Romanian salary, that's very expensive. But if you're a digital nomad, if you're working for other countries where your currency is different, I do consider it's a great place for you. I don't see it as a party city. I don't see it as a very multicultural. No, I will definitely see it more as a digital nomad that you stay for a couple months and then you go to another place. Some of the cons about it is that I read a lot that many people don't consider Timișoara the cleanest city in Romania. It's a little bit dirty. It depends what's your perspective and what has been your experience in the past, to be honest, because for me, I don't consider it super dirty. No. Yeah, it could be cleaner, but still it's not dirty, in my opinion. I have seen dirty places, definitely. Some other cons is with traffic, as all cities, if you have a car, it's a little bit annoying, traffic lights everywhere, and the roads are not the best, to be honest. There is a lot of holes in the roads, a lot of construction going on, so that's why I do prefer the walking or having a little scooter. It's great, you can get around with that. One last thing that I forgot to mention is that most people here in Timișoara speak English, which is very good. I still don't know Romanian. I do understand it very well, but most people speak English. So, if you're coming from abroad, digital nomad, for example, then that's great for you too. The 2nd place will be for the 2nd largest city in Romania, which is Cluj-Napoca. And I do believe this city is more for younger people and specifically students, because this city hosts about 10 universities, so you can imagine how many students are there, especially coming from abroad. A lot of people speak English. I think that's general in Romania, which is great, at least for people coming from abroad. But I did notice on my research that it costs more. It tends to be a little bit more expensive, the lifestyle there. One thing that I did like is that you have more things to do, or at least that was my perspective, you're closer to more touristic attractions, escaping in nature. You have closer different things that from here to Timișoara, maybe you still have to drive 2 hours, 3 hours. Public transportation works pretty well there too, things that really doesn't happen in Timișoara. One of the things that I did notice is that Cluj-Napoca apparently doesn't have as many green areas in the city itself compared to Timișoara. Timișoara do have a lot of green areas. So that's one of the things that I noticed most people complain about, The number 1 place to live in Romania, I'm still shocked that I'm gonna say this, because the first time that I went to this city, I absolutely hated it. It was just no, it's disgusting, it's horrible. And now I'm shocked because that's the place where I want to move next. But also I do consider it's perfect for expats. And I know this because I researched, but I also have a lot of expat friends living there, and it's just they love it, they like it, you know. We're talking here about Romanian's capital, and I know some people love it, some people hate it. It's completely understandable. I told you, I also hated it at some point, but now I feel like I love it more. I know so many people say, you know, it's dirty. I won't lie to you. It is. There are some places that are dirty in the capital. There are some places that are not safe. But what capital doesn't have some dirty places and places that are not safe? We're not going to focus on that, obviously. There are some places that are absolutely beautiful, places that are fully renovated, modern. They offer you a huge variety, I think that's how you say it, of restaurants, food, shops, also like cultural events or events from abroad. Like, for example, there is this summer an event that I want to go. It's called Summer in the City. It's a festival and some international singers come here. It's like, you don't see that in other cities in Romania, at least on my experience and the things that I have researched. But you can do your own research and figure it out what is best for you. Yes, the cost of living, I will say, is a little bit higher, way higher. You can find apartments for €1,000. It's still also in other cities, but you know, it depends on the area. It's a much larger place where you have more option. Public transportation is one thing that I did love about Bucharest, because they have the metro, the bus, everything works pretty well. And also like the airports, you can get from Bucharest airport to anywhere in the world, as every capital, and it's way cheaper to fly from there than from the other cities that I have mentioned. But also there are some things that are negative. So obviously the traffic, if you're planning to stay here for a while, you maybe get a car. Traffic is insane in Bucharest. In Romania, the public medical care, it doesn't have the best fame. So let's say that's, if you move here to Timișoara or to Bucharest, it won't make much difference. You probably will want to have a private care. One last thing, and I'm not trying to convince you to love Bucharest. No, I'm not trying to convince you of that, but the reasons why I do want to move there also, it's because you're very well connected to nature. For example, you are 2 hours away from the Black Sea here in Romania. Then you're 2 hours away from the biggest mountains and, you know, like beautiful places that I personally want to be close to, you know. So as I said at the beginning of this video, the place that you choose, it will truly depend on what your goal is, what are your interests, what you want to experience when moving abroad. I would recommend you to explore the places that you consider could be good for you. Maybe stay there for a week and see how is the life there. To ask yourself, okay, what am I looking for? What is important to me? What are my needs right now that I want to find in those places? Anyway, I hope that this information is helpful to you. It allows you to choose the right place for yourself or your family. And if you have any questions, just let me know down below. I always try to respond right there, or I make a personalized video or short. So just get coming back if you want to know more about Romania, and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye bye.